This is Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.
You are looking live at Blossom Athletic Center. It is Comalander Stadium. It is the home of the Gucci Bowl tonight. Clark and Churchill. Good evening, everybody. Don Harris with you here in the press box. Chuck McIntyre down on the sidelines. Churchill and Clark in one of the great rivalries in all of San Antonio. Used to kick off our TNL season in week 1. Now they are district rivals. And Chuck, the rivalry still is bitter.
Don, for the longest time, and I don't have to tell you, Churchill really dominated things and had their way for over a decade. But last year, Clark broke through, got a win, feels more like a rivalry this time around now that both teams have gotten wins the last couple of years. And what a better place to be for Clark and Churchill for a game that actually comes down to meaning a whole heck of a lot. Clark right now holding down one of those top 4 playoff spots in 28-6A. Churchill still very much in the hunt. They've got to have this game. So does Clark for different reasons. I think we're going to see a lot of fireworks here tonight.
This could be one of those districts, Chuck, where we're using an abacus with all the tiebreakers at the end of the season. For the Cougars, they've got some real stars, including one in our San Antonio Sports All-Star game, and that is Nico Varelis, who does it all.
Yeah, Don, Nico Varelis, an all-star for a reason. This young man has been on varsity since he's a freshman, one of the most explosive players in the area, whether it's rushing the football or receiving it. He is absolutely a menace for opposing defenses in space. He's an even better kid in terms of his ability to lead, get it done in the classroom. Nico Varelis will have his hands on the football a lot tonight.
And the guy trying to stop him, leading the Charger defense, is number 5, and that is Brock Ramzinski. We called his name a lot last year as a junior. He, too, a San Antonio All-Star.
Yeah, this is a young man that comes from great football pedigree. His father is a college football coach, and he's a guy that we will see all over the field. The Charger defense will get its juice. It starts with Brock Ramzinski. He's like having a quarterback on the field, and always a treat to watch this young man do his thing on a football field.
All right, don't let it fool you that we're in mid-October. It's the Gucci Bowl. Churchill and Clark. We're back with our Gomez Law Firm keys to the game when we return.
You're watching Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.
Welcome back to Comalander Stadium. It's the Gucci Bowl. It's Clark and Churchill. Right now it is time for our Gomez Law Firm keys to the game. And Chuck, let's start it off with those Clark Cougars and J.L. Geist.
Always nuanced when we talk about keys to the game when you talk to J.L. Geist. He'll give you some good ones, like no turnovers, or no touchdowns, I should say, on the opening drive of either half. Doesn't want it to happen. He also wants to win sudden change. In other words, you make a big play on offense or defense, make sure you play complementary football when you're out on the field. And then secondly, or I should say lastly, you want to stop the run.
Here's Coach J.L. Geist.
This is a big game for them. They need this game, just like it's a big game for us, and we know that every week. They're a good football team. They're going to play hard. They're going to be physical. They're well coached, and we don't think anything about what their record is in terms of how it relates to how we prepare for this game.
All right, how about those Churchill Chargers, Chuck? They've got to win here to stay alive.
Yeah, Coach Harris always does a good job with these Chargers, and his 3 keys are they don't want to beat themselves with self-inflicted wounds tonight. They want to be able to control the football and the time of possession when they're on offense. And then on defense, absolutely do not give up any Yordan Alvarez's.
Here's Coach Ron Harris.
We could sit there and say we've got to take it. It's just another game. It doesn't matter that it's Clark. Well, it does. We can say all the coach speak stuff we want, but it matters. It's Clark. It's a tremendous rivalry. These kids have grown up with it. They've seen it and experienced it in elementary school and middle school, and now they've lived it for the last 2, 3, and 4 years. So, yeah. But the good thing is you don't have to worry about them being ready on Thursday night.
That's the truth. The Gucci Bowl says it all. Clark and Churchill. When we come back, we'll have our national anthem, and we'll get ready to kick it off here at Comalander Stadium.
Tonight's broadcast of Thursday Night Lights is sponsored by Taco Cabana, the Gomez Law Firm, Vulcan Materials Company, Centro Med, Red McCombs Toyota, Texas Med Clinic, Align Mortgage, Cowboys AC, the Children's Hospital of San Antonio, San Antonio Metropolitan Health District, San Antonio Sports, Valero, Rhino Roofers, Atlas Floors Carpet One, Air and Plumbing Today, Solve HR, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Beluga Air, Christus Santa Rosa Sports Medicine, and Monarch Trophy Studio.
Well, the Clark Cougars have taken the field, and the Churchill Chargers are right behind them as these two schools, now district foes, get ready to do battle again. And there you see the Chargers with the number 12 Josh Pollard memorial flag. Such a great tradition that they've continued after the tragic loss of young Josh Pollard a few years back. Wearing pink for Breast Cancer Month. Everybody's ready to get going. And Chuck, you know, we're talking about this rivalry going back to the 80s and 90s and 2000s. There used to be the pizza eating cheerleader contest midway through the week on Wednesday and Thursday, which would often end in like a brawl, be on the news for the wrong reasons. These schools just don't like each other, but it has mellowed some over the years, but not tonight, because both these schools looking for a playoff spot.
Yeah, you know, I think what's interesting, Don, when you talk about playing travel ball and some other different sports, and you've got kids that actually play together when they're kids, and then they go to their different high schools separated by 281. I think it's pretty interesting that it has mellowed a little bit, but there's no doubt that the victorious team will enjoy bragging rights for 1 year.
All right, it's time for the National Anthem. Let's turn it over to our public address announcer, Peter Landez.
Hey, Brandon. Okay, can Aaron and Riley?
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask those that are able to please rise as I direct your attention to the south end zone where our state and national colors are entering the field. This evening, our color guard is from the Winston Churchill High School Junior ROTC under the guidance of Captain Retired Keisha Spalding. Escort guard for the Texas flag, Cadet Corporal Daniel Duran, carrying the Texas flag, Cadet Corporal Isabella Harden. Watching guard over our national colors is Cadet Sergeant Maximo Powell. The honor of carrying the national colors, Cadet Sergeant Treston Johnson. Please remain standing and remove hats as the combined choir from Clark, Churchill, and their middle school feeder choirs, under the direction of Allison Cavazos and Keith Martinez, pay tribute to this great nation and our men and women in uniform throughout the world with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
Game Time Weather is sponsored by Air and Plumbing Today.
Welcome back. It's time for our Air and Plumbing Today Game Time Weather. It's 88 degrees, partly cloudy, wind out of the northeast at 11 miles an hour. A couple of stray clouds out there, but otherwise a beautiful night for football as the Churchill Chargers will kick it off first, and Clark will see the ball first as it's time for our first half kickoff, brought to you by Rhino Roofers. Doing the kicking for the Chargers is young Cameron Van Proyen. He's been selected as the kicker in our San Antonio Sports All-Star game. Only missed one kick all year long and can usually get it down there into the 5 or into the end zone. And back to receive for Clark is Michael Vasquez and Nico Varelis. Van Proyen puts it about a yard deep, and Clark will bring it out. The Chargers pursuing. That's Varelis. He gets to the corner, and a nice return to beat the guys to the corner, and they'll set up shop just short of the 20 at around the 18-yard line. Call it the 19. Already we've seen the speed of Nico Varelis. And Nikos will be one of the guys that will touch the ball a lot for the Cougars. Their quarterback is Nick Lee. And he will take the opening snap. Chris Gertz and Varelis behind him. Gertz goes in motion. They throw it his way. It's incomplete. It's a forward pass, even though it was behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be second down and 10. Here's a look at those starting lineups, Chuck, and they've got some guys up there that were all-district a year ago, including Eddie Sophie, the left tackle, who's a star, and then Chris Gertz really getting it done for them.
No doubt. They've got some explosive players inside, outside, and their quarterback is really good too.
Lee splits 2 to the left, hands it inside to Gertz. He pops it forward for about 6. That'll set up third down as we take a look at the Chargers defense. As we focused in our pregame, Brock Ramzinski is a San Antonio Sports All-Star. He was a unanimous all-district performer a year ago, and he's joined by some really good defensive backs, including safety Caden Factor, who's back this year.
Yeah, Roundtree and company on that defensive line, one of their stronger units on this entire team.
Chargers showing blitz, play action. They throw it incompletely, kicking himself after that throw, and the Chargers get off the field, and Clark will have to punt it away after a 3-and-out on their first series.
Yeah, a little lethargic there on that first drive for Clark. He had the drop to start the drive, and then Ron Harris down of a blitz at the right time. Clark goes play action, and all of a sudden you got to turn and throw it before you want to, and before you know it, you're back there punting the football.
Logan Childs will do the honors, just a sophomore. And Ryan Vigil back to receive. Just gets it off. Good pressure by the Churchill special teams. Vigil lets it bounce. It takes a nice hop for Clark and will go all the way down to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Chargers will take over. They're led by a sophomore quarterback. He is Hunter Pavlicek. 50% completion rate on the season. Thrown for over 340 yards, and he's run for 200. As you can see, the Charger pressure almost getting there.
They had a couple of guys back there, didn't they?
And you see the behind Pavlicek is Harold Relaford, the running back. They hand to him on first down. He picks up about 3. He's a junior as we take a look at the rest of that unit. Also led by their team captains, both tackles, Jackson Cruz, the right tackle, number 77, and Alex Gonzalez on the left side, number 50. Tremont Moore, the all-district running back, is out tonight after an ankle injury, and good pressure by the Clark defense as Renzo Espino got back there to make a nice play. We talked about Chris Gertz, his brother Luke playing linebacker there, number 25. A very tough unit, as we also talked about Ben Gibson.
who's also a San Antonio Sports All-Star. Big number 90 is going to make some plays tonight.
Yeah, they've had some injuries on that defensive line, so Gibson is going to move inside and try to wreak some havoc there, but he is a load.
So it's 3rd and 10 for Churchill. And Pavlicek will split out 2 to the right. He rolls that way. Keeps. Nice pickup. It's going to be short of the marker. It'll be 4th down on a full yard. And let's see what Ron Harris wants to do. He'll run out Van Proyen and the punting unit. Nice play by Pavlicek. Almost picked up the 1st down. Boy, you can tell as a sophomore, he's going to be something special.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, he's got good size, and we'll talk about the comparisons because Coach Harris really, really likes what he thinks this guy's going to become, and already shown his mental as a sophomore.
Van Proyen with a little sideways step, end over ender, that will roll all the way inside the 15-yard line and be down at the 12. Chargers flip the field, and the Cougs will have it when we come back. And we're back with the Cougs getting their second chance to run the offense here. Backed up after a nice punt. And Chuck, that first series that we saw from Clark, not indicative of that offense that we've seen most of the year.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a little odd. I mean, just a little flat coming out, but we'll see what happens after they had a quick 3 and out by Churchill to think about it.
And Line Mortgage 1st down. Gertz coming this way. Breaks 1 tackle. Sticks his nose in there for a nice pickup.
Yeah, and they'll move Gertz and Nikos around. They'll split him out wide. They'll put him in the slot, and you see what this guy's done as a rusher. I mean, he's over 1,000 yards in a lot of different areas through the course of his career at Clark, whether it be rushing it or catching it.
He's got 425 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns this year. Here on 2nd and 6. Lee's going to sling it. Overshoots the intended receiver, Michael Vasquez. Vasquez is an all-district performer. As we go down to the sidelines and say hello to Matt Roy for the first time tonight. Matt?
What's Gucci, Don? Sorry, I couldn't help myself. We're here with Michael Hines for Taco Cabana, our main sponsor here on Thursday Night Lights. Michael, you guys are one of our key sponsors here. Why do you guys choose to give so much back to the community day in and day out?
Well, being in San Antonio for 45 years, I mean, that's all we want to do is just show the community that we care. And being here for 45 years, we're going to continue to strive as much as we can to show the community we care.
Michael, one of the best things that I love about Taco Cabana is even after I leave here, I can go get a taco, I can go get whatever I want, because you guys have such late hours. What are the hours?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sunday through Thursday, our drive-thru stays open until midnight. Friday and Saturday, we're open until 2 in the morning.
One of the best things about Michael, though, is that I don't have to leave here to get a taco today. He was kind enough to, for the first time you and I have been together, bring tacos. What did you bring for us today?
Today I brought our breakfast dozen box, which is 3 bean and cheese, 3 bacon and egg, 3 chorizo and egg, and it's $16.99 at the store.
What's your favorite one?
Oh, chorizo and egg all the time.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and just have a couple here. So let's, this is called Innovation. I went to ASU, #1 in innovation. So we're going to have to dig in here, Mike. All right, cheers buddy. Chorizo and egg is where it's at, guys. That's really Gucci, let me tell you. John, we'll send it back to you guys.
They're going to find out quickly that Matt can polish off the whole box in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, he's in his natural habitat, I believe.
That'll set up 2nd down and long. Our thanks to Taco Cabana, again, our title sponsor this year on Thursday Night Lights. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Nick Lee, the senior quarterback. He can run it, almost 400 yards on the year. He's a threat, even on 2nd and long here. And he keeps, and he lunges forward, gets about half of it. That'll set up 3rd down and about 4.
I don't like the way Churchill's playing and trying to defend Nick Lee right there. I mean, bring up your corners, use them as, basically extra defensive linemen, stay in your lane and make Nick Lee stay in the box as much as you can.
The Chargers without their nose tackle, Luke Hardy, tonight. He's out with injury, and replacing him is Jaden May on the nose, big number 96, and he's doing a good job. They'll run Gertz, hits the seam, and he's right at the marker. They're going to give him the aligned mortgage first down, and we'll move the chains.
Clark going back to little smash mouth football here on this drive to try to get a rhythm going after that quick 3 and out. But it's nice when you've got a lot of guys that can tote the rock. I mean, look at the numbers that Chris Gertz has put together here this season.
Over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. He's a San Antonio Sports All-Star. He's also a team captain and an all-district performer last year for the Cougars. And this time Lee will keep it, trying to get to the edge. Coming up from his corner spot, making a nice tackle for the Chargers is Dom Rios.
Chargers again doing a great job of just rallying to the football. Landry Miller, no stranger to making tackles this year for the Chargers, also in on that play. That's what you got to do. Churchill showing some good speed here on this defense, matching the Coug athletes play for play so far in this football game.
Second down, and we'll call it 7. Hands inside to Gertz, and he's going nowhere. The interior front for those Chargers coming up with a big play. Roundtree and May.
Freddie Padilla, sophomore, number 90, also making a play right there too, beating his man off the punch.
They've moved May inside, and they're playing Padilla on the end as May is subbing for Luke Hardy, who's out. They come through with a big play there, make it 3rd down and 7, no gain there. Here's Lee, straight drop. Pressured, they got him. He got rid of the football, but boy was he under duress from Wayne Roundtree.
Just an unbelievable play there by the front of the Churchill Chargers. Look at that. Almost had him right there, but Lee gets the edge. But the pressure is just relentless. More than one Chargers bearing down on 17, who did a good job to just get rid of it.
So Logan Childs out on again to kick it to Ryan Vigil. And that's a short kick off the side of his foot. It's going to bounce at the 40 and just kind of go backwards there at the 37. So Churchill with pretty good field position. The Chargers we'll see if they can do something with it when we come back.
All right, 0-0 here in the Gucci Bowl at Comalander Stadium. We are lucky enough to have Mr. and Mrs. Gomez here joining us. The Gomez Law Firm has been around for over 45 years here in the San Antonio area. Why do you guys feel it's so important to stay in the San Antonio area and give so much back to the community here?
Well, Joe and I were born and raised in San Antonio, and I went to Jefferson High School. Joe went to Lanier High School. He played high school football. I was a lariat with cart stunts back in the day. I'm about ready to have my 50th reunion with about 240 students on the 22nd of this month. San Antonio, we love San Antonio. Our daughter is going to be the Reina Linda for Rafael, which gives scholarship money to students who otherwise could not afford to go to college. So we just love giving back to the community and helping out.
And you guys are a part of so many events around San Antonio, the presenting sponsor here on TNL. What sets Gomez Law Firm apart from the rest here in San Antonio?
I think what sets us apart is my husband has set a legacy and a bar of standards for our attorneys, that they have a passion to help people. It's very unfortunate that we see very terrible, catastrophic accidents, but we're there for the people. at a very difficult time. We have compassion. We just care for our clients, and we're going to get every cent that they're due for some terrible accident that was of no fault of their own.
All right, well, thank you so much. We appreciate your guys' sponsorship, and I know the kids do as well, and all the schools that we feature on TNL. And there's one thing we forgot to say last time I interviewed you guys on week 1, and what's that?
Game's Law fights.
Yes, they do, just like the teams out on the field. Don and Chuck, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you so much, Matt. Got a chance to meet the Gomez's at our fall premiere, and what a nice couple they are, and we appreciate their sponsorship here for Thursday Night Lights.
Indeed. Good to partner up with nice people.
Here's Van Proyen on the kick again. Another high kick. It's going to be fielded right at the 18-yard line, and it'll be a fair caught, and that's where Clark will have it. So far, it's 0-0, 2:49 to go here in the first. Welcome back. It's the Red McCombs Toyota Smile Cam, and you can tell this is the Gucci Bowl. They are fired up. Churchill sideline flashing the WC. And let's see now if the Cougars can do something with it. Chuck, so far, impressive job by the Ron Harris coached Churchill defense.
Yeah, you know, and also what he's done, showing Clark a bunch of different looks, and this defensive line really off to a hot start in this football game for Churchill.
Here's Lee heading inside. Gertz has it, and he's going to fight forward. Nice tough running by Chris Gertz, but the Chargers wrap him up after a gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Seems like we've been calling this game every year for so long, and we've called some of these kids as juniors and sophomores. These names very familiar.
Yeah, didn't take us long to see some of that early in the football game. That's what you're gonna get in the Gucci Bowl.
They're gonna scrap. Here's Lee, Gertz again. This time he finds a seam, and he's got an aligned mortgage first down as they'll move the chains. Speaking of Chris Gertz, he's the subject of our Beluga Air player profile.
Yeah, 3-year football letterman. Look at the accolades in the classroom as well. Young man service league, doing some stuff in the community. Chris Gertz with a 102.06 GPA. Getting it done.
At ours together.
Yes, sir.
Lee on a boot. Fires. It was short and a little low for the intended receiver, Michael Vasquez. Had him open. Just threw a little bit behind him.
Yeah, just a little out of sync here to start this football game. And again, I think you got to give a lot of credit to what Churchill has showed here defensively. A bunch of different looks. And, you know, at some point, though, if you're the Cougs, you got to start making some of these connections.
2nd down and 10. Lee looks, fires right, sails that one high over the head again. Michael Vasquez, the intended receiver, and Nick Lee is just a little bit off today. Smacking his helmet, mad at himself. That'll set up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, they've gone a little exponential with their offense this year, adding a bunch of different things, a bunch of new things to try to augment what they have in terms of athletes. But again, just a little bit of rust factor so far in this football game.
Fires again, that one low. Receiver wanted an interference call, not going to get it. Nick Nolan Beck wanting the call, but it'll be 4th down and 10 with 1:23 to go. And out comes again that punt unit for Clark. That's Logan Childs, and Ryan Vigil will stand on his 33-yard line to receive it.
Yeah, Renzo Espino doing a really good job there in coverage for Churchill on the back end.
Chargers look like they're sending the house. Here they come, and they blocked! They're going to pick it up. They're going to scoop, and they're going to score. Touchdown, Churchill. They almost got it the first time, and this time blasting through. Ty Webb is the guy who recovers it. Not sure who blocked the punt, but they got through again, sending the house.
A little good pregame karma from Ty Webb. Look at that. 21 was the guy that got his hand on the football. Ty Webb, Don, talking to before the game, nice young man, and seemed like he was really ready to go play some football, and here he is doing a good job, already getting the first score for his team tonight after Sutton Cantrell was the guy that put his mitt on the ball.
Sutton Cantrell, just a sophomore, got through, got his hand on it. The Van Proyen extra point is good, and Churchill draws first blood.
Huge play for the Chargers, and we talked about both of these teams needing this game for different reasons, right? Clark needs it to stay in the top 4, and Churchill needs it to stay in the hunt. And it's the Chargers who come up with the first big play of the night.
You know what I like about Cantrell? Look at him. He blocks the punt. Now watch him bail out. He's like, okay, no use running into each other. You're going to let somebody else recover it and just run and celebrate.
Yeah, Churchill must have seen some stuff on tape because, yeah, I mean, to your point, they almost got that first one. Didn't miss on the second one.
So the Chargers strike first. It's 7-0 as you take a look at our Christus Santa Rosa Sports Medicine Band Camp. Good crowds, good spirit group size on both stands and sections tonight. So Clark will put Varelas and Vasquez back to receive the kick from Cameron Van Proyen. Last time he sent it to the 2. Little pooch kick here. The fair catch will be called for at the 29, and we'll be back in 15 seconds.
Being a teen ambassador lets me speak up for teens who might not have a voice and be able to connect with other teens around the city.
All right, so the Clark Cougars have struggled offensively, and now they've struggled on the special teams. And they've got an aligned mortgage first down, trying to do something with it with $1:15 to play here in the first. Here's Lee. He'll keep. He's got some room up the middle, and he bursts forward. Nice 10-yard gain. That's enough for an aligned mortgage first down, and Nick Lee has had enough of struggling. He's like, let me do this myself.
Yeah, you know, Don, sometimes you get into a boxing match and, you know, both fighters trying to feel themselves out a little bit before they really get going, and you're Clark, you just got punched in the chops. If you're not awake now, you won't be.
Ball spotted at their own 40-yard line. Another aligned mortgage first down with 45 seconds to go here in the first. Here's Gertz. Runs to the right-hand side for a gain of 2. And Roman Romo has done a really nice job. He's been in on 2 or 3 different tackles tonight, and he's in on that one again.
Yeah, talking to Coach Harris this week, he really felt like, you know, you talk about the Clark roster top to bottom in terms of talent. He would match Clark's talent level with anybody in their league. That's what he thinks of these guys.
2nd and 7. Gertz again. And again, it's 34, Roman Romo. In on another tackle. They'll get a couple, but that'll be the end of the first quarter. A blocked punt touchdown scoop and score for the Chargers as Churchill up 7-0. We're coming back with second quarter action. We're back. It's time for our Texas Med Clinic Urgent Care first quarter highlights. Just this one. Sutton Cantrell with the block punt. Ty Webb with recovery. It's 7-0 Churchill after one. Second quarter beginning now. And the Clark Cougars have third down. As we take a look at the first quarter stats, really Clark having a tough time getting going. No first downs at all. And a very clean game, not a single flag yet here in this one.
Yeah, pretty good ball game so far, and a huge special teams play has got Churchill out on top.
A little reverse here going the other way, and Churchill read it well, although breaking a tackle, and now a flag flies. Maybe a block in the back or a hold. We'll see Michael Vasquez on the reverse. Here's your crew. David Maxwell is our head referee tonight. And we'll see what Mr. Maxwell says after they sort this one all out.
Personal foul. Blindside block. Number 17 of the offense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a fourth down.
Blindside block. And it's right in the back of Mayfield right there. It's the quarterback.
Nick the stick.
Nick Lee just hit Roundtree right in the back. Good call. Fourth down and a nice spiral booming kick. Let's see if it sits down. Instead it goes into the end zone. And so Churchill will have it when we come back. 11:29 to go. It's a fist fight. Churchill and Clark as expected in the Gucci Bowl.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by Solve HR.
We're back. Churchill with first down. They get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of one there on that play, as the Chargers have the ball for the first time here in the second quarter.
A chance for Churchill, Don, obviously, with the 7 already on the board thanks to your special teams. It seems like whoever gets the offense going first is really going to put themselves in good shape.
No gain on that 2nd and 10. They'll fire into the flat, incomplete, as Hunter Pavlicek was looking for Ryan Vigil. They want to get the ball into his hands. As you saw, he was their punt returner as well. Explosive receiver. It's got 9 catches for 94 yards on the year. Pretty balanced offense led by Pavlicek here. They run it and throw it. He's going to take off running here. He's got the 20, cuts back, runs into a pack of Cougars at the 25. So it'll be a gain of about 5, and it'll set up 4th down and 5.
Well, we were told that
little whistles after the, little scraps after the whistle.
Yeah, well, we were told that Hunter Pavlicek has a linebacker's mentality playing quarterback, even though he's a sophomore, and I think we saw a little bit of that on this play. The young guy. Take you all on.
So it's 4th down, and Van Proyen out again, his 3rd putt. That's another end-over-ender, and brave attempt by Varelis to catch that.
Yeah, he saved himself a lot of field position for his boys. That's for sure, coming up and making that stop.
Right there at the 39. Coming up at halftime, we'll spotlight a couple of area teams that are making a difference in our communities with our Beyond the Game program. Let's hear more about this initiative from San Antonio Sports' Jenny Carnes and Valero.
Every day, our high school and middle school coaches work hard to help athletes reach their maximum potential while also teaching life lessons through sports. Beyond the Game provides a platform to support our coaches as they develop athletes beyond the basic X's and O's.
Valero's success is linked to its values of integrity, respect, teamwork, excellence, and community service. They are a part of everything we do in business and in the community. We are proud to partner with San Antonio Sports and recognize the next generation of leaders as they develop these life-enriching values on and off the field.
We are thrilled that Valero has joined our team. They are a company that lives their values and makes San Antonio a better place for all of us. Having Valero as a teammate for Beyond the Game will help this program continue to positively impact more teams, coaches, and families. 4 teams will be recognized during the San Antonio All-Star Football Game presented by HEB in the Alamo Dome. If you want to nominate a team, you can visit sanantoniosports.org and learn more about the program and nominate your team today.
Thanks to Valero and Jenny Carnes and San Antonio Sports. We focus on them every single weekend, and they are doing a great job in our community. First down and 10 for the Clark Cougars. Here's Nick Lee. He'll hand to Gertz right up the middle, and again, he is snuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Just a really nice job up front by that Churchill front 4.
Yeah, they've been dominant so far in this football game, and talking to Coach Geist this week, one of their keys that we weren't able to put on the screen because there's so many keys that they have for each individual group, but they really want to be good on third down on both sides of the ball. And he says, you know, you can really help yourself, obviously, on third down if you're good on first and second down, but Churchill's been very, very difficult to run anything on so far in this football game.
Gertz trying to get to the edge. Roundtree in pursuit. He gets there along with a couple of teammates. Nice job by Gertz to at least get a couple. It'll be third down and about 6 or 7. Roundtree in pursuit, showing his speed, going stride for stride with the running back.
Yeah, there's been absolutely nothing outside for Clark. Churchill, those guys in the box are doing a really good job playing sideline to sideline and not letting anybody get the edge.
So we'll see what J.L. Geist draws up here. They'll send big Luke Esquivel, the tight end, out to the right-hand side. Lee rolls left. He fires. And that one's, I believe, caught for a first down. It is. They've been looking for Michael Vasquez all night. He's finally got a catch, and that's a Cowboys AC first down.
Yeah, really good route on that one. And a good job by Nick the Quick, jumping outside, getting on top of that football and delivering a strike.
All right, so the Cougars move into Churchill territory. Ball spotted at the 49. See if that gives them a little rhythm here. Gertz comes in motion. They fire it his way, and he is stuffed right at the point of attack by Cooper Kuntz. We called his name a lot last year. He's a junior, 30 tackles, 2 picks, and a blocked field goal this year, and he read that perfectly.
Yeah, he did. Just came up and made a play. I didn't know if he was able to shake a block or anything, or just came up and almost beat himself to the football.
He read it perfectly. So now it's second down and 13. Lee going to his left, fires again. Same play that picked up the first down the last time. And this time, they may have done it again. That's Michael Vasquez. And they'll move the chains for another Cowboys AC first down.
I don't know if it's just me, Don, but you just get the sense that Clark is trying to bait Churchill into just thinking about one specific area of the field between the chains. You just get the sense at some point they're going to take a shot, go deep.
Varelis in motion. They'll hand to Gertz. Gertz spins across the 35 to the 34. And that's one of those plays you talk about having a good first down. That's one right there.
Yeah, one of the few successful plays they've had so far tonight running the football. I mean, the performance that this Churchill team has put together here through a quarter and a half is really something you want to tip your cap to.
Second down and 6. Varelis and Gertz back there with him. This is Gertz off tackle. Got some room. Still on his feet. Short of the 20, but a nice big hole for Chris Gertz, and that's what we've seen from him all season, and we saw it now for the first time tonight.
Yeah, run a little trap there with Sepchi and Navarro over there on the left side, and that was their best run of the night by far. And now Clark's offensive line starting to get some body blows in.
So the Cougars are on the move, down 7, but they're marching here with a new Cowboys AC first down. Ball's on the 23. Give it to him again. Gertz following blockers inside the Central Med red zone. And he picks up about 3.
Now it's just good old-fashioned bully ball. They're seeing something there on the left side. Put an extra player in the backfield, and now it's just plowing the road.
See what adjustment the Churchill defense makes as it's 2nd down and 5. Varelis in the slot. Lee's going to roll right. Pressured again. Under pressure by Ramzinski, and that caused the ball to be high and incomplete. Brock Ramzinski, San Antonio Sports All-Star, in hot pursuit again.
Yeah, and 14 doing a good job there, getting back there and disrupting Nick Lee's flow on that one. Did a really good job with the pump fake to get at least an extra second of time to get the ball off, but there just wasn't anything there, so you live to fight another down.
Gotta think they're in 4-down territory here. It's 3rd down and 5 from the 18. Gertz to the left. He'll run over a Charger tackler near the stick. That's going to be good for another Cowboys AC first down, I do believe.
Yeah, they've been a little off, Clark has, with their offense so far, so you just go back to pounding the rock. Just good old-fashioned bully ball at this point. Hand the ball off to Gertz, go left side, and see if you can move the chains, which they have repeatedly on this drive.
Clark knocking on the door now. As the ball's on the 12, they can get another first down at the 2-yard line. Gertz has been hot on this drive. They hand it to him again. He goes off left tackle again. He's to the 5 and to the 4, and this is the Chris Gertz show right now.
Yeah, not to mention Huerta, Navarro, and Sevgi on that offensive line. Center to tackle on the left side of your screen.
I don't know why you would run anything else at this point other than Chris Gertz to the left-hand side here.
They also brought a fullback in, and he's plowing the road.
2nd and 2. Gertz right up the middle. He's going to score. Chris Gertz, touchdown Clark. The Cougars methodically just run it down the Chargers' throat on their drive here in the 2nd quarter, and they're an extra point away from tying it up.
Well, this young guy's got great vision, even in small spaces, and once he gets ahead of steam and smells end zone, he's going to get there more often than not.
Micah Arakelian is the kicker. He'll attempt the extra point. Looked like there was some movement early, and flags fly. Looks like it'll be declined, maybe?
Side on the defense. That penalty is declined. Try is good.
All right, so it's 7-7. We got ourselves a football game. What'd you expect? It's the Gucci Bowl. Halfway through the 2nd quarter, Chargers have it when we come back. Welcome back. You're taking a look right now at the Churchill Chargers' Isaac Jabagu. And he's another subject of our Beluga Air player profile, plays basketball, track, and football. In fact, this is the first year he's ever played football. He's a hooper. As the Chargers take the kickoff at the 5, outside with the sideline. And a nice return by Ty Webb, who's got a touchdown tonight already on that block punt recovery. Flag down. We'll see what that is. Pretty cool that the football coach was able to talk the star basketball player into coming out and playing football.
Right.
This late in his career. He's a senior.
Holding during the return, number 6. Penalty being forced 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First.
Here's another look at Isaac's player profile. Got a 97 GPA. And he plans on studying engineering over in the Houston area, the Houston Prairie Viewers, Texas Southern.
Yeah, they got a pretty good group of receivers there. Churchill High School. Might see Nick in the run game too.
So Churchill's backed up after that penalty flag, and now Clark wants to take a timeout. And they do. And we're back in 15 seconds.
Being a teen ambassador gives me a push to be a better leader of my community, and it makes me happy to be of service to someone.
$5:15 to go here in the second quarter. Thanks for being with us here on Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights. The Gucci Bowl rivalry lives. Good crowds here tonight. Fired up student sections, as always is the case. Doesn't matter what the records are. Although both of these schools still having a chance. See the Gucci Bowl paraphernalia, t-shirts, sporting all the parents.
Every year, never gets old. Coach Harris with some huge challenges this week. We know it's a short week when we're playing on Thursday night, but they had the flu bug run through the team this week too. Playing pretty well through it.
Backed up. Nice keep by the sophomore quarterback, Hunter Pavlicek. And a good gain on first down as the Chargers, after that penalty, really in a tough spot field position-wise, but a nice gain of about 5 here on first down. It'll set up second down.
Yeah, this is a really important possession here for Churchill, more so about trying to milk that clock. You can get some first downs and then maybe see if you can get closer to the 50-yard line, then maybe take some shot for some points. But you know, be really key for Churchill right here if they could find a way to get some points on the board right before the half.
As we take a look at our Red McCombs Toyota Smile Cam. Churchill's cheerleaders also sporting pink, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Love the energy. And it's third down and a long 2. They pitch it, looked like they were going to run inside, and they pitch it outside, and it's a rugby scrum to see if they can get to the 20. I think they're going to mark them short. It'll be fourth down and less than a yard, I believe, depending on where the stick is.
I think they just gave it to them.
Gave it to them?
It's by the hair of their chinny chin.
And that's a tough running there by Isaiah Blankenship.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought the Cougs had got it plugged up there too, but yeah, the ref's right there. That was just good, solid mano-a-mano, a guy stretching out and moving the chains for his guys.
Huge as far as keeping possession and moving that clock. Here's Pavlicek. Hands again. And again, it's Blankenship, and he's got another 9 down to the 29-yard line, as the clock will tick inside 3:20.
You know, Churchill trying to give Clark a little dose of their action. Get up there, line up, run the football, and see if you can move the ball that way. And so far, so good for Churchill here as it's second and short.
Here's Blankenship again, up the middle. Got the first down and more, still on his feet. Look at him go across the 40 to the 42. Isaiah Blankenship. And don't forget, they've got Cameron Van Proyen, who, along with Ethan Ball of Alamo Heights, are the 2 best kickers in town. His long 42. He told me pregame he's good from 45, sometimes 50 in practice. So they're going to try to get him in range. Blankenship doing it again.
Well, they got a little ham and egg going here with the Churchill football team when it comes to their run game. Blankenship is their inside guy. Rutherford has got a little bit more speed, but they'll give defenses different looks by who touches the ball. Right now, Churchill's getting a lot of success. Just look at that. Get off me.
Oh, collision of the game nominee, mark the tape. 2nd and 4. Now they swing it, and a good job by the Clark defense. Is that Nico Varelis playing D?
Why not?
Loss on the play. Set up 3rd down and 9. And again, the Clark D coming through. It'll be 4th down after Clark's interior defense with a couple of big-time plays on 3rd and 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like there was some confusion on the Clark defense, but it all worked out on their behalf. Just a bunch of guys rallying to the football, even though there looked like there was mass confusion.
I think Clark burns a timeout so they can get the ball back with $1:30 here as Ron Harris runs out his punting unit. Give us time to tell you about the Children's of San Antonio $5,000 band grant. One of the schools seen on TNL this year is going to win $5,000. It's all based on your votes. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit the CW35.com. You must be 18 years of old to vote. The $5,000 band grant made possible by the Children's Hospital of San Antonio.
Yeah, now we're going to get a chance to see these coaches play a little chess as we take a look at our Christus Santa Rosa Sports Medicine band cam. Getting ready to hear both bands here coming up here shortly. But so you're Clark, right? You want to set up a nice return, but if I'm not mistaken, Don, we were doing a game when Cameron was back there punting, and he was the fastest guy on the field on that special teams and picked up a huge 1st down on a fake.
He's a really good athlete, all-district soccer player, and can flat out run. This is a good place on the field for a fake. He'll kick it away. And the last one would be bounce at the, taken at the 10. Varelis down the sideline, gets out at the 24. And so Clark will have it with 1:18 to go. And stick around for our Central Med halftime show. Matt Roy will bring it to you. Of course, we'll hear from both bands. David Chancellor will focus on our Scholar Athletes of the Week. It's all brought to you by Central Med and the Central Med halftime show.
Oh, that Varelis is such a heady ball player, isn't he? I mean, he comes up and probably saved his team 15 yards of field possession by just coming up and making that play right there on that punt return.
That ball looked like it was going to go down to about the 3-yard line. And now, I think Ron Harris wants to talk it over after seeing Clark split out 4 to the left and 1 to the right. And you're right about that chess match right now. And, you know, our producer, Chris Koff, is always super prepared, right? A very special treat. We have those flashbacks. How about the very first ever TNL game all those years ago with Ernie and Dean on the call? Let's flash back.
Fake to Jones, and Greenbauer's going to take it himself and waltz right into the end zone for a touchdown. 15-yard touchdown, Greenbauer.
This is a great bunch of kids here, and it was a great football game. We played against a good team, and the kids did such a great job, you know. I'm so proud of those kids.
Great Lloyd Alexander. Clark with a shutout win, and the uniform czar is salivating over those old Churchill uniforms.
And Hayden Greenbauer, man, went on to play at SMU and have a great college career. Man.
He sure did.
There's some good squads back in the day.
$1:18 to go. Let's see what the Cougs can do with it. Lee rolling left. Now fires, and it's dropped. Had his man about a yard short of the first down, but couldn't come up with the handle. But the clock doesn't go anywhere. 1:11 to go, 2nd down and 10. Nick Lee finding his accuracy here in the second quarter after struggling on the first few possessions.
Yeah, that was a really nice play right there. Again, he looks very comfortable going to his left. Stopped, set his feet, and delivered the ball right on time and right on target.
He's got 3 receivers on that side now, top of your screen. Gertz in the backfield with him. And he hands inside to Gertz. And Gertz will pick up the first down, I believe, right at the marker. That's another Cowboys AC first down if they give him the spot, and they do. Clock should stop to move the chains. It did not. And so we tick inside of 56 seconds. Clark lost about 7 seconds there. Lee, deep drop, wants to chunk it deep. Now he's directing his receivers, and now he just throws it out of bounds. No receiver in the area, but he was outside the tackle box.
You can't say enough about the job that the Churchill DBs are doing on the back end. There was literally nowhere to go with that football. And Nick doing a really good job of showing his pocket presence, Don. I mean, that thing was collapsing, but he never panicked. He mapped out his escape route long before everything happened, and guys like number 7 there on the back end, Ty Webb, having a really nice ball game. Again, one of the keys for Churchill, no home runs, and they haven't given up one yet.
2nd down and 10. Again, another straight drop by Lee. Same type of play, wants to go deep. Pursued. Now he'll scramble, and he'll fall down, but again, good pursuit by that Churchill front. Jaden May and Freddie Padilla have been in the backfield with him.
Well, they have, as the clock winds here. But again, you know, Lee does a good job of extending plays, but his receivers are not doing a great job on the back end, trying to find some space so that he can maybe find a throwing lane and make a completion down the field. They continue on with their routes, but I mean, after a significant amount of time, you got to just go out and find some green and create some space between you and the defender.
That'll do it for the first half. Clark not going to run another play. We'll let the clock expire, and we've got ourselves a football game. Low scoring, but what do you expect? It's the Gucci Bowl, good old-fashioned knockdown drag out here at Comalander Stadium. And Matt is standing by with Coach Ron Harris. Matt?
All right, Coach Ron Harris with us. Coach, your defense is playing outstanding. No home run balls so far. That was one of the keys for you guys coming in. What are you guys doing so well on the defensive end?
We're just swarming to the football. I mean, kids are playing their keys and their techniques well, and they're, you know, running to the football, and we're getting a lot of gang tackles. So, you know, we just got to keep the ball in front of us.
Offensively, what do you guys need to improve in the second half? Obviously, no offensive touchdown so far this half.
The biggest thing is just consistency, where we've got, you know, we're looking at 9 out of 11 guys doing what they're supposed to do, or 10 out of 11 guys doing what they're supposed to do. We're missing that one key block at the point of attack on some things. You know, 9 out of 11, 10 out of 11 is good on a quiz in the classroom, but it gets you beat in a football game.
Especially on the offense. Thank you so much, Coach. Appreciate it. Good luck in the second half. Thank you.
All right, Ron Harris saying it as simply as coaches do. Good stuff right there. When we come back, it's the Central Med halftime show. Matt Roy will bring us the Clark Cougar Band, the Churchill Charger Band, and our Scholar Athletes of the Week. Don't go anywhere.
Tonight's broadcast of Thursday Night Lights is sponsored by Taco Cabana, the Gomez Law Firm, Vulcan Materials Company, Centro Med, Red McCombs Toyota, Texas Med Clinic, Align Mortgage, Cowboys AC, the Children's Hospital of San Antonio, San Antonio Metropolitan Health District, San Antonio Sports, Valero, Rhino Roofers, Atlas Floors Carpet One, Air and Plumbing Today, Solve HR, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Beluga Air, Christus Santa Rosa Sports Medicine, and Monarch Trophy Studio. Welcome to the Centro Med Halftime Report.
All right, we got the Gucci Bowl right here in Comalander Stadium. 7-7 on the scoreboard between Churchill and Clark so far. You know it's going to be a good game when it's the Gucci Bowl. We have the Clark marching band out on the field now. We got a chance to talk to their director a little bit earlier this week. Here's what he had to say.
I'm Justin Murphy, and I'm the director of bands at Thomas C. Clark High School. This is my 17th year of teaching, my 11th year at Clark. We went to BOA Austin and did fairly well there, and we went to a U.S. Bands contest at Piper High School. Took second there. We went back to Austin again for the Texas Marching Classic and put on a very good show there, and so it's culminating into this weekend, which will be UIL Region. The show is called Retro Wave, and it takes the idea of this synth wave kind of music and the aesthetic and all that kind of retro futurism from the 1980s. It's all based around technology and how technology has affected our lives, and probably the most popular song that you will hear in the show is a cover of Eleanor Rigby, Beatles song, but it was covered by this group called Gunship. We've got a really good group of kids here and that I get to work with every day, so it's just exciting to look forward to the concerts that we've got ahead of us. The full orchestra will be playing at the Tobin this year, which is exciting in the spring, and we have a musical here in January and the jazz program, and all the stuff that we do in the progression of the year is just exciting because you're working with a really good group of kids. I have to say thank you to the Clark Band Boosters because they are such a good group of people, and wherever we go and wherever we travel, there's such a just a caravan of people that go out there and they care about these kids, and they come in and they work and they donate of their own time. And then I would have to have a special thank you to the Clark administration because they're so supportive of the arts here, and they're very supportive of our programs.
It's time to vote for the Children's Hospital of San Antonio $5,000 band grant. So vote for the Clark Marching Band. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit cw35.com/station/contest for complete rules. You must be 18 years old to vote.
San Antonio middle and high school athletes are doing great things for our community. San Antonio Sports and Valero are shining the light on teams who model key values through their action. This week, we salute two schools whose community projects demonstrate beyond the game values. Members of Stevens High School Athletics visited with students at Hatchet Elementary to kick off the Falcons Read program, reading books and serving the next generation. In mid-September, the East Central High School boys and girls basketball teams volunteered with Feed My Starving Children. 60-plus student athletes, countless parents, and community members worked together to pack enough meals to feed 193 children for an entire year. These athletes demonstrated the beyond-the-game values of integrity, respect, teamwork, excellence, and community service. San Antonio Sports and Valero salute high school and middle school coaches who inspire their teams to serve others. Parents, teachers, and coaches can nominate teams that go beyond the game. Visit sanantoniosports.org.
You're watching the Centro Med Halftime Report.
Vulcan Materials Company is a proud sponsor of TNL's Scholar Athletes of the Week. Each week, we recognize outstanding student athletes, and at the end of the year, Vulcan Materials Company will present a $10,000 scholarship to one of the scholar athletes recognized on TNL. Our David Chancellor introduces us to this week's scholar athletes from Clark and Churchill.
Spend a few moments talking to Clark's Bolu Odomosu and you're humbled by her gifts in the classroom and beyond. Like being president of the ALE Club, which befriends special needs students at Clark.
Right now I'm actually encouraging all of them to join me so we can group up and go to homecoming together, because I wouldn't want to go to homecoming if it wasn't with my friends. It's called Friends Having Fun because we all like to see ourselves as just friends having fun with our other friends when hanging out with the special needs students.
She's big time smart, as in 104 GPA and number 4 overall in her class.
Are we gonna chase down number 1?
I think I have to jump over number 3 and number 2 first.
Yeah, get them too. Run all in depth.
She also took pre-med classes at Harvard last summer.
It was just a lot of studying of genetics, biological systems, and things like that.
Honor Society, Math Club, Key Club. She's even considered to be an AP scholar with distinction. Oh, and she can play sports, varsity basketball and track, and somehow traveled the country this summer to play AAU hoops. This year is her last year in organized sports. She sees her future in medicine.
10 years from now, what are you doing?
10 years from now, I hopefully see myself in medical school. I would like to be a psychiatrist when I grow up.
Churchill High School's Pedro Espinosa loves sports, all of them, including something called spike ball.
Every Wednesday after school, we go out there on the football field to play spike ball together. Just a cool little gathering. Basically, there's a net and there's a ball in the middle. 4 players, it's kind of like volleyball. Each person, you have like 3 hits. Once it hits the net, you have to hit it back to the other team. If it hits the ground, you get a point.
It's not all fun and games for the guy who's been on varsity football the last 2 seasons. He also spends weekends working for the family business.
My dad owns some apartments down in his hometown, Pearsall, Texas. And I go down there almost every weekend and help out with the tenants there. And we get some cleaning done and fix up whatever needs to be fixed.
He's in the FCA. He loves volunteering at the food bank. But when it's time to study, boy, can this kid study.
Your GPA is 116, is that right?
Yes.
When's the last time you made a B? Do you remember that?
Not in high school.
You've never made a B in high school?
Nope.
What exactly are you gonna do with that big old brain of yours?
I'm hoping to go to UT and study biomedical engineering.
Who is Vulcan Materials Company? You see our trucks on roads all over San Antonio and the surrounding area. But what do we do? Well, our story began over 100 years ago. And today we are the nation's largest producer of aggregates. That's stone, sand, and gravel. Plus, we produce construction-based materials including asphalt and ready-mixed concrete. The stuff to build the roads you travel, the schools your kids attend, and the homes you live in. Everywhere you look, you will see our footprint. Our story is one built on the talent, dedication, and performance of our employees. Hardworking San Antonians just like you. Our mission is to be responsible stewards with respect to the safety and environmental impact of our operations and products. In other words, we want to be your good neighbor, doing the right thing, the right way, all the time. The Vulcan way. Who are we? We're the ones helping to build a rock-solid future in San Antonio. Vulcan Materials Company, proud sponsor of Thursday Night Lights and Scholar Athletes.
You're watching the Centro Med Halftime Report.
All right, back here in Comalander Stadium. Beautiful night for the Gucci Bowl tonight. 7-7 our score between the Chargers and the Cougars. And we're going to introduce the Churchill Band, but take a look at the October pink for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month we got going on down here on the sideline. Pink all throughout the stands. But first, let's hear the Churchill High School Marching Band, who's taking the field in just a few minutes. We had a chance to talk to their band director, find out what's going on in this year's band.
My name is Amanda Stevenson. I am the director of bands over at Churchill High School here in town, and this is my 4th year with the Winston Churchill Charger Band. Super exciting. We've been having a blast. The kids have been working extremely hard, and they're completely impressive. We have gone to a few contests recently. they've done very well. They've placed in finals at the Vista Ridge contest, which was up in the Cedar Park, Austin area. And so they also went to the Texas Marching Classic, also in that same area, Round Rock, and did extremely well this past weekend. We have a great color guard. They placed 4th this past weekend, 8th for our percussion, 9th for our visual performance. So the kids are doing very well, and the show's just a lot of fun. The show is entitled Won't You Be My Neighbor, and it is from Mr. Rogers and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and it's just a fun show. It's nothing more or less than that, and what you can expect is to have some emotional tie to it. The older generations, like myself, we know Mr. Rogers and grew up with Mr. Rogers, and the younger generations know Daniel Tiger, which is a cartoon version that kind of spun off from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So nowadays the kids are watching that, and it's just a lot of fun. You're going to have some fun, crazy moments, and then some emotional ties to it, and it's probably one of the most entertaining shows that you will see this year out on a marching field. There are a lot of exciting things coming up. We have UIL this coming weekend, and that's at Heroes Stadium, and that just runs all day on Saturday. From there, we hope to advance to the area marching contest. We're ending our season with a couple performances. We'll be at the Alamo Dome for a Bands of America contest, and then we also have in November we will be having our Charger Band extravaganza, and that is going to be Monday the 7th, and that's going to be at 6 p.m. Over at here in town, over at Hero Stadium, and that is when we just perform for the audience. All of our feeder middle schools participate, which is Bradley Middle School, Jackson Middle School, and Eisenhower Middle School. So they come in, they showcase some of their groups, and then we end the night with the marching show and playing some tunes together with our middle school feeder programs. Lots of things coming up in the spring. Our wind ensemble is headed to Indianapolis. They were selected for the Music for All National Band Contest. I definitely want to say, thank you for all the hard work that we've had as a full staff, and that goes to Mr. Ray Ramirez, who's our color guard instructor, Rick Astorga is our percussion director, our associate director, as well as Amy Plazek is our associate director. We cannot do this without the support of our band parents. They're fantastic. The kids have been working just so hard, our administration, and a big shout out to our community for supporting the kids.
To vote for the Churchill High School Marching Band, scan the QR code on your screen or visit cw35.com/station/contest. You must be 18 years old or older to vote. Thanks again to the Children's Hospital of San Antonio for sponsoring this year's $5,000 band grant.
You're watching the Centro Med Halftime Report.
Welcome back. We are at the Gucci Bowl. Clark and Churchill knot up at 7. Not a lot of offense, but it's been a good football game, a tough football game as we look at our Texas Med Clinic urgent care first half highlights. Blocked. Special teams coming through. Sutton Cantrell getting the block. Ty Webb with the recovery and the scoop and the score. Chargers were up 7-0 after 1. The only scoring we had in the second quarter was Chris Gertz capping off a very bullish drive by that Clark offense. They ran it right down Churchill's throat for about 52 yards. He caps it off with the short touchdown run, and that's where we stand. 7-7 at Jerry Comalander Stadium. Second half action straight ahead.
You're watching Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.
Here come the Cougars. The Chargers are already on the field. And Clark and Churchill fired up about their second half performance. And while the bands were playing, Chuck and I got a special treat here at Jerry Comalander Stadium. We got to spend about 10 minutes with the man himself, Jerry Comalander, in his early 80s, still going strong. He and his wife Mary still make about 1 or 2 high school football games every single weekend in their 80s, and just such great folks, and great to just pick his brain about all the legendary games he's been a part of.
Yeah, and breaking down the first half for us as well, so it was nice to get some extra insight.
Exactly. Time for our Rhino Roofers second half kickoff. Churchill kicked it off in the first half, so they will receive here in the second half. We're underway. Nice kick into the end zone as Micah Arakelian put it into the end zone. Let's go down to Matt Roy. Matt?
Don, Chuck, I got a chance to speak with Coach Geist from the Clark Cougars, and he says that their defensive game plan was executed almost flawlessly. He wants to clear a few things up, especially on special teams, but his main focus, offense. They have 7 points on the board, and that was from when they went to the running game. They leaned on their all-star running back, and that's what they want to do in the second half. He says the throws are there for his quarterback, but he's got to dink and dunk a little bit and hit him over the top when he has a chance. But he really commended Coach Harris's defensive game plan. They've completely stifled the Clark offense pretty much throughout the game, and they've got to shore up a few things if they want to pull this Gucci Bowl off.
All right, Matt, thanks a lot. And Churchill kind of found a running game of their own late in the second quarter with Isaiah Blankenship, and they go him on first down, and just like that, he's got 5 yards as the Churchill Chargers pick up 5 on our aligned mortgage first down. So it is second down and 5. Remember, Tremont Moore not playing tonight, and so they found Blankenship in the second quarter, and he had some success. He's doing it again, bullying his way across the 35, and they'll move the chains for another line mortgage first down. So it may be, Chuck, a battle of Gertz and Blankenship here, just 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Well, and we talked about the importance of this game, Don, and, you know, quite frankly, I mean, looking at both of these teams through a half, it looks like Churchill's the more desperate team, trying to stay in the thick of this 28-6A race. They played with just a little bit more spark than have the Cougs to this point.
Pavlicek giving some direction, keeping it himself, and Clark stacks him up right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a half a yard. As on the red McCombs Toyota Smile Cam has all the party going on in the stands.
Yeah, pink out night.
Great to see high school kids out at a football game. Good school spirit from both crowds tonight. Second and 9. Pavlicek will look over and get the play. Play clock under 5. Goes to his left, now wants to throw. as a man, and he just went through the hands of Ryan Vigil. He had Diego Marsh a little deeper on that route. Could have gone to either place. That one should have been caught.
Yeah, nice sprint out. Ball right on time, right on target. And both of these teams having a hard time making a connection on these throws, but the run game has kept them both in it.
Third down and 9. Blankenship back there. Little motion. Didn't see a flag. It's caught. Marsh has it. Across midfield, still on his feet to the 46. Thought we might have like an illegal motion on 83, but I guess that wasn't illegal.
Well, they got a really decent group of receivers, as we were talking about earlier in the game. All of them seniors, and Marsh really doing a great job there. Catching the ball where he caught it short of the sticks and then just bullied his way forward, got his team a fresh set. Really clutch play on third down.
Line mortgage first down, man in motion. They give to Blankenship. He goes over the right-hand side, and it's a gain of 2. Not much there, but Blankenship has been a tough running back tonight.
We've seen both of these teams all year, Don, really good at ball control and really good at not turning the ball over. These teams doing an outstanding job of making you line up and beat them, and I guess we shouldn't be surprised that it's a 7-7 ball game as we wind here in the third quarter.
2nd and 8, Blankenship right up the middle, got some room, got a first down across the 35 rather, down to the 34-yard line of Clark, and another aligned mortgage first down, and all of a sudden, here come the Chargers with a power running game.
Yeah, and you just talk about, adversity that teams face during the course of the year. I mean, Churchill lost their star running back very early on in the campaign, have had to adjust, but Blankenship seems to be getting better and better every week, and boys, he had a whale of a ball game so far in this one.
New set of downs for the Chargers. Early third quarter here. It's Blankenship again. He tries to get wide this time, cuts it up, got some space. Another aligned mortgage first down across the 25 down to about the 24. Isaiah Blankenship feeling his oats, and the Chargers are riding him.
Well, one of the keys that Clark really focused in on this week was they did not want to give up a touchdown to start the first half or to start the second half. But right now, Churchill really stringing together their best drive of the evening here to start the third quarter.
Not quite a first down. It's 2nd and 1. Blankenship's got it now, and he's dropped after a gain of about 2. It's as if Ron Harris went into the locker room and said, hey, they ran it down our throat for that score. That's what we're going to do. Let's match fire with fire, because they did have some success at the end of the half on that drive, even though it didn't lead to points. We saw flashes from Blankenship, and this will come back after a penalty on the play.
Yeah, and they got some good offensive linemen, too, right up there at that Churchill ball club. Alex Gonzalez, the team captain, number 50, is really a fantastic ball player. Caleb Popham, Brandon Schuster, Jacob Bentley, and Jackson Cruz over there on the right side. Yeah, so far so good here in the second half, moving the football, although you want to see that penalty. You had very few of those in this game.
So it's 2nd down and 10. We'll counter. And this is Harold Relaford. Fresh set of legs there and a nice pickup. It'll be 3rd down and short.
We talked about at the halftime, Coach Harris was telling Matty Roy, it's always self-inflicted wounds with us. It's, one guy here, one play here, but, he really likes his team. And if they could just put it all together, he feels like he's got something here. They've already had a couple of quality wins to begin this year, and they're giving Clark all they can handle here tonight. Look at that fight.
That effort by the Churchill Chargers. Isaiah Blankenship was stopped cold for a 3-yard loss and somehow turns that into a first down on 3rd and 2. What a run by Blankenship.
You're just looking for somebody to give you a spark, right? And how can you not feed off of something like that when this dude's chucking guys and dragging them too?
Pavlicek pushing him the whole way from behind. Line Mortgage first down. Here's Pavlicek. Here's Blankenship. Trying that right side again, and again it's good for about 3. Call it 2. Second down and 8.
It's a big Gibson right there that they had to move inside because of injury this week. Inside or outside. They've grown big in the Gibson house, I'm here to tell you.
Cooper Christensen is checked in. Diego Marsh split to the left-hand side. He's in vigil in motion to Blankenship. Everybody knows it's going to him. And he leans forward for the 20. Maybe gets another yard. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, Luke Gertz coming up and helping out, making that play right there. That's the first time that Clark has really done a good job stuffing the run here on this drive. Clark really needed that to put Churchill sort of behind the chains here on 3rd down.
Would say it's 2-down territory for most teams, but they trust their kicker, the Chargers do. So we'll see what happens here. It's a quarterback keep from Pavlicek. He bounces off across the 15, down to the 10, still churning inside the 10 to the 8. Inside the Central Med red zone is Hunter Pavlicek, the sophomore quarterback, getting it done.
And this is just a man-sized run right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't see many quarterbacks being able to do something like that.
Spinning
sophomores.
Yeah, spinning left twice and then right. Blankenship behind him. They pitch it to him. He's got some heavy traffic and he bulls forward across the 5 to the 4. This is just straight up strength right now because there was not a lot there. Kind of ran into his own guy. Didn't look like there was any room, but they don't need room. They're just going to run through you, over you, and push you forward.
Yeah, I mean, Churchill and Coach Harris, he should be really proud of what these guys are putting on film right now. I mean, they're just lining up and beating the guy across from them and usually coming with bad intentions, every single one of them.
The only thing that seems to slow them down now will be if they're gassed. You can see them breathing hard, and that's why they run in Relaford at the tailback spot for Blankenship here. Wrong way. So Pavlicek keeps on the bust. Picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd down and goal from about the 2.
Yeah, this has been a mighty impressive drive, isn't it, since they came out of the locker room?
Pavlicek just looked like, said, my bad, I turned the wrong way.
Oh, he still made lemonade from those lemons.
All right, so Churchill. 3rd down and goal from the 2 with Blankenship behind him. Fake it, boot it, and scoring the touchdown is Pavlicek. I thought he was going to go outside, but of course not. He wants the contact.
Well, we said he plays quarterback with the linebacker's mentality, and yeah, what a great play call by Ron Harris and company. Get your big fella out, get him in some space. Let's see if he can take on a defender one-on-one. Problema es no más.
Van Proyen on to attempt the extra point. Good hold. That ball was low. The holder doing a great job to get it down for Cameron. It's 14-7, the Chargers controlling the clock, controlling the line of scrimmage, and they lead it here in the 3rd.
All right, guys, we have the Churchill student section over here, up 14-7 right now, and they are hyped for the Gucci ball. Let's hear it. All right, we got a great, all right, calm down. We got a great Gucci ball coming for you guys. 3:22 left, Churchill up 14-7. Don, Chuck, let's send it back to you.
Hey, Matt, tell that kid behind if you appreciate his mom watching.
I couldn't hear a cue, so I saw the red light and I was like, all right.
All right, so we'll see what the Churchill Chargers can do now on defense as Clark gets the ball back. And Don, I got to tell you, Clark was involved in a real brawl last week with Johnson. They lost some guys. They played Johnson tooth and nail, and there may be a little bit of a hangover from that game last week, at least to this point. So we're going to have to see if they can turn it around on this drive, because Churchill absolutely took it to them on that last drive, went right down the field. Not only that, I mean, they ate almost the entire third quarter while going down and getting points. So that was an impressive drive in more ways than one.
16 plays, 7 minutes, 38 seconds. And more than anything, it was kind of a tone setter. Just, we're going to come out and we're going to smack it, run it right down your throat. Now, that's what Clark did in the second quarter to Churchill with Chris Kurtz. Let's see if the Cougars are ready to answer. And this just might be a good old-fashioned physical fight. Smash mouth football. Here's Lee. And he gives to Gertz on first down, and he pops it. And he picks up a good 7, almost 8 on first down. And so they love that left-hand side for Chris Gertz.
Yeah, and he had 81 yards rushing at the break. So he was their offense in the first half. And I think coming into this football game, we talked about how explosive Clark was at quarterback, at wide receiver, at running back, but they've had to go to just simple lineup and run left.
2nd and 3. They do it again. And Gertz has a lot more than 3. He's still on his feet across the 45 down to about the 42-yard line of Churchill. And at what point does Churchill move a linebacker over to that left-hand side?
Well, Clark is kind of jumping it up too. They brought in a guy that's been playing some fullback for them.
Nice pulling job by the guard there on the right side.
Yeah, and that's Eddie Sefchi that's coming 61 that's doing a nice job too, kind of leading the way.
Allied Mortgage first down. They throw it out to Varelis. Ball's out, recovered by Churchill. Did he have a catch and a fumble, or was it incomplete? They call it a catch, they call it a fumble, and they call it a recovery for Churchill. At least the official on this sideline did.
Now, what a huge play by the Churchill Chargers in this football game.
It was a punch out from behind. 14, is that Ty Webb again?
No, he's 7. That's Mr. Kuntz.
Cooper Kuntz with the punch out. And Caden Factor with the recovery. I hope Caden's dad, Matt Factor, is watching. He's been ill lately, and this team well wishing for him for a full recovery. And Matt, if you're watching, your kid just made a heck of a play.
Indeed he did. Just when it looked like Clark was going to go down and answer, I mean, your defense comes up with a huge play on the outside after the Cougs put the ball in the air.
Second down and 5 from the 43. Churchill with a big defensive turnover there. 2 men back there. They give it to Blankenship. He's been going left, and Gertz has been going right. And that'll be 3rd down and about a long 2, almost 3.
This is just an incredible performance by these Chargers here in the second half, all in the third quarter. I mean, you go down and Blankenship left, Blankenship right. Quarterback makes a couple plays for you too, and they're just taking it right to the Cougs here since they came out at halftime.
Here's Pavlicek. Not gonna get there. Blankenship's gonna be stopped short. Maybe a gain of a half a yard. It's gonna be 4th down, and we'll see where they mark it. It's gonna be a full yard. And Churchill's gonna want to talk this over, I do believe. Or there's an injury. It's an injury timeout, and we've got a Cougar down at midfield. And it kind of gives the Chargers a free timeout to talk this one over on 4th down. And we're back in 15 seconds.
Being a teen ambassador lets me speak up for teens who might not have a voice and be able to connect with other teens around the city.
So let's see what the Churchill Chargers do. They run out the kicking unit. We talked about a possible fake earlier with Van Proyen. I might take my chances with Blankenship here at midfield. Instead, it's Van Proyen. This time he'll kick it, a high kick. It's going to bounce at the 25, take a Churchill roll, and be stopped there right at about the 15-yard line. Clark has the football. Churchill playing conservatively there on 4th and 1. It's Clark's football when we come back. Ron Harris's team with a 14-7 lead. 22 seconds to go here in the third. JL Geist squad has the football. They've had some success with Chris Gertz running to the left, and they do it again, this time coming up from the safety spot with nice pursuit and a good tackle is Alec Hernandez, the senior. Got 29 tackles on the year and another one there.
Yeah, did a great job coming up to make a play. Always fun watching these games, Don, isn't it? I mean, you don't know what you're going to get night in and night out. You see how these teams dealing with adversity, I should say, and look up at the scoreboard. We've got a ball game going into the fourth quarter.
14-7 Chargers, fourth quarter action. Straight ahead. Welcome back. Churchill cheerleaders having a great time. 12 minutes to go in this one. Start of the fourth quarter. Churchill on top 14-7. Clark's football. Lee taking a drop under pressure. Now going to keep it himself and run. And he's dropped short of the 20-yard line. A nice hit and a big collision there as the Chargers defensive backfield coming up. Landry Miller, linebacker, coming up to make the tackles. We take a look at our Texas Med Clinic Urgent Care third quarter highlights. Chargers went up top 14-7 when Hunter Pavlicek bowled his way in on the little spin out. And then the defense came through. Clark was moving the football. Cooper Kuntz with the cause. Caden Factor with the recovery. And then the Chargers punted it away, and here we are with 11-17 to go in the fourth. Third down and 6 here, deep in their own territory for Clark. Big play here for Lee. Wants to throw, does. Picked off! It's Miller stepping out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Landry Miller coming up and making a tackle, and on the next play with the Oski.
Cannot say enough about the job that this Churchill defense has done in this football game tonight. I mean, to hold these Clark Cougars to 7 points and really have them off their game since the opening snap. I mean, just an outstanding play there, reading the quarterback's eyes, and Landry doing a good job stepping in there. And, you know, obviously Nick Lee didn't even see him standing right there. But they had everything bottled up anyway. I mean, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and that's pretty much been the case all night.
All right, so Churchill's got it already in the Central Med red zone. Pavlicek hands off inside across the 20. Nice individual tackle as Relaford, the ball carrier, picks up about 5 inside the 15.
And if Churchill can find a way to stick this one in, they're going to make it really hard on the Cougs as we wind down here in the fourth quarter.
Churchill will be in no hurry here. It's Relaford again. He's got Blankenship in the slot, and he keeps it himself. Here's Pavlicek to the 10 and down to about the 9-yard line. And good physical, tough run by the sophomore.
Indeed, and I mean, even better read right there, because if he decided to hand that one off, that was going to get stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Hunter Pavlicek having a really nice game.
Physical quarterback, just a sophomore. Just imagine when he grows up. Third down and 1. And now he's got Blankenship. They give it to him. He's got the first down and a lot more. He's down to almost the 5. They'll spot it at the 6. But it's another Cowboys AC first down and a little scrap in the end zone. And DB and wide receiver getting into it. And Pavlicek runs in there and wanted some of it.
Yeah, we got some scraps. We got balls on the ground. We got guys flopping all over the place. Right now, you're seeing what you can see in this district. You better bring your A game every night. I mean, Churchill playing like they're fighting to stay in this playoff hunt, and this has been some kind of performance with the effort they put forward so far.
Like a boxing match, and they're the aggressor right now. Blankenship not going anywhere. Great job by the Cougar defense as Renzo Espino came up from his linebacker spot and actually made contact behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss on the play of about 2. So they started it on the 6. It's now 2nd and goal from the 8. Relaford. And again, on the keep, and again, it's Espino who got in there early. Good job by the Clark defense to match, fire through, and get in there to make the tackle.
Yeah, you know, Churchill giving him a little bit different look. That time they were spreading Clark out, but they weren't having any of it. They decided they were going to run blitz just the same, and they had quarterback and running back bottled up on that play, and now we'll see what the Chargers decide to go with here on 3rd down.
They're in no hurry. They've got 15 to snap it. They've got Relaford, and they're going to boot out and throw, and it's incomplete. Pavlicek just kicking himself because he left it low as he was looking for Marsh on the out route, and they'll run out Cameron Van Proyen to try and make this a 2-possession game. He's only missed 1 field goal all year. He's 9 for 10 on the year, as long as 42. He's perfect on extra points. They'll spot it at the 21. It's a 31-yarder for the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game kicker. Low snap, hold is good, and Van Proyen sticks it through to make it 17-7, a 2-score game as the Chargers lead it with 8:21 to play here in the 4th quarter.
Security blanket. Must be nice to have one of those, huh?
Taking a look at our San Antonio Sports All-Stars, there's Brock Ramzinski and Cameron Van Proyen, who just knocked in that field goal, getting their jerseys. From the Cougars, it's Ben Gibson, Chris Gertz, and Nikos Varelis. I think we do a pretty good job of picking those All-Stars on that committee, huh? They're showing out tonight. Van Proyen to kick from the 40. It's a 3rd pooch of the night. He's only kicked it away once. Clark calls the fair catch, and again, some after-play skirmishes.
Backyard brawl for a reason, bro.
And the Chargers now with a 2-score lead. Clark's they're getting in a tough position here with the way they've been playing offense tonight. Sure, Gertz has had a great night running the football, but if you do that now, you might eat up all the clock just trying to get 1 score.
Well, yeah, you can't come out and turn the ball over like they have in the 2nd half, and think a lot of good things are going to go your way. First things first, see if you can get a 1st down and try to build, get something going here to get back in this game.
It's a Cowboys AC 1st down for Lee. Fakes, play action, wants to go deep, fires, one-on-one coverage downfield. Chargers making a play on the ball, and it was almost picked off. That
Webb
was
slinger.
Ty Webb, who's got a touchdown tonight on the blocked punt, scoop and score. And he was running stride for stride with Ryan Vigil.
Yeah, they've done a really good job all night, Don, just bottling up these receivers. I mean, I don't know that you can play this any better than Webb did.
Almost came up with the pick. Good job, actually, by the receiver to break it up and
looked like
play defensive back.
Take some head off.
2nd and 10 for Lee. Keeps it, gets outside, and gets pushed out of bounds short of the 35, which means it'll be 3rd down and about 5. As we take a look at the Monarch trophies, if you need trophies, plaques, awards of any type for your team, school, or business, count on our friends at Monarch Trophy at 344-3777 or mtsawards.com.
Yeah, this has just been a beautifully played game by Churchill to this point. I mean, they have done everything right in terms of getting themselves to a 10-point lead here with 8:01 left in the ball game.
Big play here for the Cougs. Rolling to his left. Lee wants to throw. Got all day. Now pressured, and he's sacked and driven out of bounds. Jaden May moving to the middle. Had pursuit. It's going to be 4th down in the Cougars because of the field position here, and because it's 4th and 11 are going to have to punt it away.
I mean, you just can't say enough. And just running out of superlatives to talk about the job that these DBs have done on the back end for the Churchill Chargers. I mean, it's just, there's just nothing downfield, and that's the way it's been the entire night.
Vigil back to receive the punt. Churchill does not attempt to rush. He's going to let it bounce, and it'll go out of bounds at about the 30. Churchill has a 2-possession lead. 17-7 with 7:07 to go. Everything's coming up 7s. All right, so Churchill's got the ball. 7:07 to go here. 4th quarter action. They're up 10 on Clark here in the highly contested, very spirited Gucci Bowl. They'll hand to Blankenship. Another physical tackle by the Clark defense. Isaiah Blankenship picking up 3. Take a look at Big Ben Gibson, one of our all-stars. And Chuck, on the Beluga Air player profile, this young man is doing it all.
Yep, it's in the family genes, that's for sure. Latin Club, Young Men's Service League, National Honor Society, Football Leadership Council, GPA, out of sight. He's got a brother that's an Ivy Leaguer. Sister Gracie's a good athlete. I mean, what a great family the Gibsons are, no doubt about it. And that kid, acorn don't fall far from the tree, Don Harris.
Good for him. What an impressive young man. 2nd down. Pavlicek keeps, trucks 1 defender, 2, and is finally brought down by the 3rd. But Hunter Pavlicek, the sophomore quarterback from Churchill, a couple of different times tonight has made tacklers on the Clark defense really rethink what they want to do in their life.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Clark, I mean, your season might be flashing before your very eyes, your postseason chances anyway. I mean, you came in here with a nice lead, not a nice lead, but at least a comfortable lead in that 4th playoff spot. But Churchill acting like they want to go grab that 4th playoff spot.
3rd and 1. Pavlicek. Hands inside. Clark's defense answers the bell. Interesting call here. Field position game, up 2 scores. Harris going to run out. It looks like he's bringing them back now. He ran out the punting unit. They're coming back to the sideline. We'll see if he just plays a little mind games here. Maybe try to get Clark to jump and then burns a timeout. Or if they go for it with Blankenship, who's had a pretty good night getting 2 or 3 yards. Big play right here. And they do get him to jump. Free play, exactly what Ron Harris wanted to do. The hard count, and Clark fell for it. It's going to be 1st down Chargers. Wait, they're talking it over. Maybe that's going to be called false start on Churchill.
Offsides with contact on the defense, number 41. A penalty is 5 yards and will result in a 1st down.
Great coaching by Ron Harris there. The punting unit thought they were on the field. He called them back and did Here's a look, the hard count by Pavlicek, and he got him to jump. Doesn't work much in the pros, but at the high school level, you can get him to do it. A new set of downs for the Chargers and more chance to run clock. Huge play in the game. Trips to the right-hand side, including Silva. And now a stoppage by the officials. Maybe a timing issue. And we're back in 15 seconds.
Being a teen ambassador gives me a push to be a better leader of my community, and it makes me happy to be of service to someone.
Looks like they're ready to go now. They've got down to 4:28, so they put 4:42 back on. And now they wind at 4:42, and now it's ticking at 34, 33, 32. First down and 10. Pavlicek content to burn that play clock at 6. Blankenship guts it. Huge play on first down. Picks up about 8.
Yeah, Don, I mean, I think if we're looking at this game from the 40,000-foot view, you know, yes, that was a huge play that Churchill got on the penalty here to extend this drive, but if we're being honest, I mean, this has just been a great performance. Defense, offense, and special teams by the Chargers here tonight. I mean, they've been spectacular. You know, we talked about the adversity. I think Coach Harris had 2 guys with the flu on Monday, 7 more on Tuesday, and to come together like they have on a short week with your season hanging in the balance, these guys should be awfully proud of what they've been able to do so far.
3:38 to go. Pavlicek wants to stay in bounds. The difference in my mind, Chuck, was that something happened in that halftime locker room, and Churchill came out throwing punches. I mean, metaphorically, just, we're going to out-physical you. And they have dominated the second half at the line of scrimmage and with their physicality, and they lead it 17-7. Welcome back, 17-7, 3:30 to go. Ron Harris's squad close to putting this away as we take another look at our Beluga Air player profile. Jackson Hawkins getting it done, Chuck.
Top 2% of his class, I'd say, right? Look at that GPA. Through the stratosphere.
I can't count that.
Biomedical science. His goals to go to med school. Good job, young man. Had to be somebody. I know it wasn't us.
113 GPA. It's
unreal.
It's insane. First down. And the workhorse for the Chargers tonight, Isaiah Blankenship, goes forward for a short gain, maybe a yard. Blankenship has just really carried the load for Churchill here in the second half. 24 carries, got 93 yards on the game. I would venture to say almost all of that in the second half.
Yeah, he had that one. It started like he looked like he was starting to get going there at the end of the first half, but, you know, again, just the job that Churchill's defensive line has done in this game, and then on the back end, Ty Webb and Caden Factor and Alec Hernandez and Dom Rios, their DBs. I mean, what a wonderful performance.
Second down and 9. Pavlicek will keep. Turns it up. Look out. Pavlicek to the 30. Pavlicek to the 20. He's brought down inside the 15-yard line. Hunter Pavlicek popping off his biggest run of the night into the Central Med red zone. And the Chargers close to putting it away as he comes up limping with 2:33 to go.
Well, not before he broke a few ankles himself. Look at that cut, and then big boy getting him some.
Hunter Pavlicek, just a sophomore. Clark Cougar is also down as they attend to both players. In fact, I think they're looking at Pavlicek's right foot. He's okay. He's a little ankle sprain. Meanwhile, on the Clark sideline,
Diego Alexander, one of
helped
their
off
best
a little
defenders
bit.
too.
And let me tell you something. With 2:35 to go, don't think for a second that in a Gucci Bowl, Churchill doesn't want to punch this thing in and continue to run it up, run it in, and run it up. There's a timeout on the field. As we take a look at our TNL top 10, to get into a latter part of the season now. It's been the same for about 3 weeks. We haven't seen a lot of movement. Steel, the only undefeated team, and there's not a single 2-loss team in the top 10 as all these teams just keep winning. Brennan and Smithson Valley and Alamo Heights and Brandeis and Seguin, Harlandale, Taft, Canyon and Southside, all with just 1 loss. That will all change in the next couple of weeks when we have these rivalry games and we get close to playoff time and deciding those district championships.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great teams in this Northeast League too that, you know, could easily be knocking in on the top.
Reagan Johnson tomorrow should be fun. A lot of great football this weekend on our family of stations. On Fox 29, a triple header on Saturday, Penn State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan State, and USC, Utah. Over on 4 Saturday night, it's Stanford and Notre Dame. And on Sunday, we've got on Fox, the Jets taking on the Packers. And on Sunday night football, it's Cowboys-Eagles. First down and 10. Here's Blankenship up the middle. He runs over 2 guys and gets down to the 5.
He's got to be creeping up on a 100-yard ball game at this point.
That might get him there. He had 93 going into that carry. And he's going to have 25 carries now for exactly 100 yards as he picks up 7 on that play. Heard Stephen Jones on the radio today not ruling Dak completely out. Even though he didn't practice yesterday, limited today, they have not completely ruled him out. I don't think he's going to play on Sunday. Pavlicek, Blankenship, bouncing it, trying to get to the edge, gets to the 5, gets to the cone. Isaiah Blankenship, give us a signal. Touchdown!
He's doing more damage after he scored. You know, it's one of those things too, Don. I don't think it's running it up. I mean, you're still in a 17-7 ball game, and, you know, if you don't get a touchdown here, you never know what can happen in a football game. Not to mention a rivalry like the Gucci Bowl, not to mention the fact that Clark, although they haven't put their foot forward here tonight, they've got some real explosive players. I mean, you got to score if you can score, or try to put a football game away. And
yeah, for sure.
Blankenship
It's not running it up. Guys, I want you to run that back if you can. After the touchdown for Churchill, Cooper Christensen's trying to congratulate his teammate Blankenship for scoring. And he's the victim of the collision of the game while trying to congratulate him. Watch 32. Yay! Right on his back. Oh, that's awesome. Churchill is fired up.
As they should be. What a performance here tonight by the Chargers.
Came into this game 2-4 on the year, just 1-3 in district play. And having lost so far in the district, including 3 in a row to Johnson, Roosevelt, and Brandeis.
But, you know, nobody's really taken it to them. You know, they've been right there. A play here, a play there, as you know, which can happen in their league, 28-6A, one of the best around. And, you know, that guy's going to get them ready to play each and every week. I mean, they are a very, very, very battle-tested team, and they're very good at turning the page week in and week out. This has been one heck of a performance.
I believe that was one of the Jaquez boys.
I do believe you were right.
Hanging out there with Coach Harris.
See if he's got any eligibility left.
A couple of big-time Chargers from years past.
Yeah, and see if he's building any weight rooms in his garage.
Remember that during the pandemic, everything was shut down. He and his brother used broomsticks and buckets and concrete and built a makeshift bench press and curling rack.
Oh, what fine football players we got there at the Jaquez house. Father on down.
Here's Van Proyen to add another extra point to his resume. That one's good. And he's perfect on the season, has not missed one yet. And that brings up time for our collision of the game. Time for the Bexar County Sheriff's Office collision of the game. It's Blankenship making the defender pay. Oh my, that's what you call a decleater. Just running right through the Clark defender, and that is our Bexar County Sheriff's Department collision of the game.
Blank, but not shooting blanks. That's for sure.
That's what I said. Why I said he made a couple of these defenders that came up to tackle him think about what they want to do in their life. It may not be play football.
Amen to that.
I made that decision in the 7th grade.
Yeah, I'm a lover, not a fighter myself.
There was a penalty after the touchdown. Guess is it was some sort of taunting or celebration penalty because they were back Churchill up to the 25.
And, you know, it's one of those things, Don, looking at the Churchill Ball Club. I mean, going into this game, I think we knew this too, that their record wasn't necessarily indicative of what kind of ball club they had. I mean, they had good balance coming back. I mean, I think they had 5 or 6 starters returning from last year, and, you know, they had to overcome some adversity early on when they lost their star running back. But they really felt like they had a good team coming in, and, you know, again, they've been in all these games that they played, but boy, did they really put it together tonight. This is just very impressive all the way around, what they've been able to do.
Van Proyen will punch it short again. It'll be caught and downed inside the 40 at about the 37-yard line. The Cougars will have 1:43 here in the 4th, down 24-7.
And that was the one thing that Coach Harris also talked about this year, Don, is that game in and game out, I mean, they'll fight you. They'll do what they've been coached to do, and they'll give their best effort each and every night, and it's all come together this evening.
They came out and laid the tone, set the tone in the 3rd quarter with that drive that took up 16 plays and almost 8 minutes, and Blankenship just ran it down their throat. That set the tone.
Agreed.
Never forget, I don't know what Super Bowl it was, 32 maybe, in Atlanta, Cowboys-Bills, second half kickoff. Cowboys were struggling a little bit, and Emmitt Smith behind Nate Newton and company probably had 12 carries on one drive, and they just did that. Ran it right down their throat and completely changed that Super Bowl. It was over after that drive. Kind of got that feeling tonight. Second down and short. Lee rolling to his left, had some success throwing that out route. Throws it at the feet of the intended receiver. And it's time for our Atlas Floors Carpet One play of the night. Wasn't even close. This was the tone setter all the way around early in the football game. Sutton Cantrell with the block. Ty Webb with the recovery. Churchill taking the 7-0 lead. And that was our Atlas Floors Carpet One play of the night.
That's one of the cool things too, Don, about coming out to do these ball games. You get to come in here a little early and you get to spend a few moments with Ty before the ball game. What a nice kid. Played like a man tonight.
Lee running right, big pickup, got out of bounds. I can't think of a single part of the Churchill coaches like to say in tribute to Jerry Comalander who's here tonight?
All three phases, Don. All three phases. The offense, the defense, and the specialty teams.
And they had them all going tonight.
No doubt about it. Took the offense a little while to get going, but once they did, what a performance.
Don't forget to nominate your teams that are doing great in the community to the Beyond the Game initiative. Go to sanantoniosports.org. Share their story there of what they're doing in your community. Lee wants to go deep now. Running for his life in pursuit. And he's dropped at the 40-yard line. And again, it's big Wayne Roundtree running him down. But seriously, they have a block punt. The offense dominated in the running game. The defensive front four was brilliant early in the game. The secondary shut down the receivers in the second half. All three phases. Ball is complete. Clark still has some hope here. 47 to go to try to score one more time.
And I wonder how much of this ball game for Clark and their performance tonight was coming off that tough loss to Johnson last week. I mean, he just didn't quite have the juice necessary in order to win this ball game this evening.
Lee all day to throw. Going to the sideline, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. There's a flag down, and they'll sort that out. Looks like this one's going to go against
on the offense, number 61. Penalty is 10 yards from the previous spot. Remains first down.
So we talked about this district race being down to the wire with everybody still having a shot, really, mathematically. Maybe Madison is out of it with 4 losses, but Churchill's got Reagan, Marshall, and Lee coming up. So they've gotten through the tougher part of the schedule with the exception of Reagan. As Lee takes a drop, he's under pressure again, and he's going to keep his feet. Nice job getting away, and now he fires and well over the head of the intended receiver. We're down to 16 seconds to go. So Clark's got Roosevelt and Brandeis. Brandeis very tough near the top of the standings. Undefeated in district play at 5-0. And Ron Harris was telling me before the game, I can tell you this. This is going to be one of those years where at the end of the year, we're all in some room flipping coins and looking at all these 3- and 4-way tiebreakers to figure out 3rd and 4th place.
Well, it just very well might be. And, we saw Brandeis with our own 2 eyes how physical a football team they are. And with the weaponry they have, it's going to be a fun next couple of weeks watching to see how it all plays out.
Miller, who has the interception, gets a sack, adds that, and that's going to do it. That's going to be your football game as Churchill wins the Gucci Bowl. 24-7, and you can see the excitement on the Charger sideline as they're extremely excited about this win after losing 3 in a row in district play.
Well, they should be excited.
Injured Clark Cougar on the field, and so they'll all wait to line up and shake hands until make sure he's okay, and he is. So the very, very competitive Gucci Bowl remains that way. Clark came in the favorite tonight. Churchill in a bit of a stunner, 24-7. The Chargers win it. When we come back, we'll name our player of the game. We'll hand out the Monarch trophies to Coach Ron Harris and the Charger football team. Matt Roy and our postgame show straight ahead.
Tonight's broadcast of Thursday Night Lights is sponsored by Taco Cabana, the Gomez Law Firm, Vulcan Materials Company, Centro Med, Red McCombs Toyota, Texas Med Clinic, Align Mortgage, Cowboys AC, the Children's Hospital of San Antonio, San Antonio Metropolitan Health District, San Antonio Sports, Valero, Rhino Roofers, Atlas Floors Carpet One, Air and Plumbing Today, Solve HR, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Beluga Air, Christus Santa Rosa Sports Medicine, and Monarch Trophy Studio. Welcome to the Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights post-game show, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.
Welcome back. Churchill 24, Clark 27. I stayed objective all night long, Chuck, but as Churchill Charger class of 83, I'm throwing down to Matt Roy, a pretty happy man tonight.
All right. Well, Don, congratulations to you. And also, guys, congratulations to the Churchill Chargers. Great job. Gucci Bowl 2022 champions. Before I hand this one out, I would just like to say defense. Everybody that plays defense, stand up. All right. 32. Did you guys know you held him to 32 yards passing? All right. If it was up to me, everybody would get one. But we have Isaiah Blankenship getting the player of the game. We had 26 rushes. 106 yards, and that touchdown over there to start the game away. All right, Isaiah, come on over here. Isaiah, not only did you guys win the Gucci Bowl, you keep your playoff hopes alive. What happened in the second half?
You know, we as an offense, we started rolling, and once we start rolling, you know, we can't stop us.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Coach's game plan said hand it to 27. So how much confidence does that give you when that's basically the game plan is you and number 8 over here?
You know, I'm just glad, you know, they rely on me to, you know, me and Hunter, you know, we do our thing. You know, I'm just glad that the coach was able to give me those many carries, you know. I was able to rush without any.
All right, well, you carried the team, you carried the trophy. Good job, my friend. Congratulations, Coach. Let's get you up here. All right, Coach. Gucci Bowl 2022 champs. What did you tell them at halftime? Because a 17-0 halftime score, you guys had a 9-minute drive to start the half. Like, what happened at half?
Coaches got with the kids, made the adjustments out of the game plan for the second half. Yeah, I didn't have to tell them anything. They knew what they had to do. You know, we told them it was 0-0, win the second half, win the game. And they went out and did it. They won it. They earned it. They did a great job.
I don't know if they just won the second half, dominated the second half is more like it. That 9-minute, like 100,000 play drive that you guys had to start the half off. What was the mindset coming in and starting the half off that way?
It was controlling the line of scrimmage, showing what we're capable of doing up front. You know, Isaiah got all them yards, but he had a whole bunch of people up front moving the line of scrimmage for him too. You know, and it's the combination of both those things that made for our success.
Coach, you guys win the Gucci Bowl. You keep your playoff hopes alive. You guys have Reagan, Marshall, Lee coming up. What is the outlook for the rest of the season?
We just got to heal up, you know, see if we got any bumps and bruises, make sure Nick's okay, and then go to work and, you know, get ready to play Reagan next Friday night.
Well, you guys made our resident Churchill Charger, Don Harris, very proud, and he wants to say congratulations as well. But first, let's give a trophy out, guys. Congratulations.
One of the best scenes in all of TNL is when these kids are fired up at the end of the game. Churchill, the winner. We'll back to wrap it up coming up.
We going to playoffs, and we're going to kill Westland.
Welcome to the Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights post-game show, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.
Dusty on top. We going to playoffs, and we're gonna kill Westlake.
Hey, putting Westlake on blast.
Wow. Feeling their oats, the Chargers tonight. 24-7, our final score as Churchill beats Clark in the Gucci Bowl. We said coming in, we showed you the standings, we told you where the teams were, but said anything can happen in a Gucci Bowl, and sure enough, Churchill came out, and Chuck, we've talked about it a little bit, but just inspired football in that second half.
Indeed, and I think, to your point about the block punt, that set the tone. I mean, if there was any doubt that Churchill was going to be in this football game tonight, I think they sent an early message with that. And after Clark went down and tied the game before the half, you're thinking, okay, we're going to see what both teams are made of here in the second half. And, Churchill going on that drive that took almost 9 minutes off the clock to go all the way down, stick it in, and basically erase the third quarter in the process. I mean, it's hard for an explosive offensive team like Clark to get a rhythm going if they're sitting on the sidelines. So a lot of things were accomplished on that drive in the third quarter. And again, I'm running out of things to say about what we saw here tonight. I mean, I think a lot of these games we can go into it and say, okay, we think this team's going to win, this team's going to win, whatever. We didn't know what to expect in a rivalry game, but, man, Churchill really put its best foot forward here tonight.
Yeah, and I think we talked about the physical play and the offensive line dominating the line of scrimmage. But really, it was also just the physicalness of two players, and that was Blankenship and Pavlicek. We saw Sutton blocking the kick there and Ty scoring it. Chris Gertz going in to tie the game up. And then this was the capper to that 16-play, 7-minute and 38-second drive as Pavlicek went in. And then there was the punch-out by Cooper Kuntz and the recovery. And then Landry Miller had an interception for that Charger defense. Right place, right time, tough catch too. And the rest of the game was Isaiah Blankenship running through over people and at the end getting outside to score yet another one. Van Proyen added a field goal and 3 extra points. And Churchill just dominates Clark in the second half and keeps their playoff hopes alive. First downs is pretty equal, but I would venture to say that 208 rushing yards at Churchill, the majority coming in the second half.
I'll bet you'd go through the stats for the whole season, and I mean the fact that Clark only had 32 yards passing, to me, that seems cartoonish. Just speaks to the level of what Churchill did on defense on all 3 levels. Man, those DBs were special tonight. I mean, they locked their dudes down.
All right, coming up next week, another district showdown. 2 good teams over in the Northside League. O'Connor and Stevens will be our matchup next week on Thursday Night Lights. Well, I would venture to say this is our best game of the year so far. It's a close game, and we've got a few left, hoping for more of them. Chris Kotfus is our producer, and he does a great job, as always, putting all this together. As you see the Cougars All-Stars getting their plaques from our U.S. Army representatives for the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game. It's not only Chris, it's Brian Watts and all his crew in the truck doing a fantastic job. Oscar and Javier getting the signal up in the SAT truck. And for Chuck Mikatinik here in the booth, Matt Roy down on the sidelines, and Nick Funky Cole Medina doing the stats as always. We will see you right back here next week on Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights.